Okay, we have another Field of Glory 2 Digital League Season 8 battle. This is Classical Antiquity Division A. I have the Romans with the Greek allies versus the Seleucids with Lysimachid allies. I wonder why Lysimachid allies. Maybe they add more medium foot. I admit I don't really know all the different successor armies by heart. Let's take a look at what he's got. A really nice line of light infantry if he wants it. 10 units. For mediums, Thureophoroi and Thracians. And of course your less delightful troops that are affordable. Can't get standard hoplites. I doubt he'll do so against my Romans. A pike line of up to 6 units, including 2 veteran pike phalanxes, which can just obliterate anything I can bring to the field frontally. Heavy artillery, which we will ignore or harass if he brings. 4 light horse, a large number of various light spear cavalry, a couple units of lancers, and lots of elephants, potentially. So I need to be prepared both for lots of skirmishers and lots of elephants, or lots of pikemen. Yeah, so we will be seizing this hill, and we'll grab our Scutari unit, as always. And we'll dump some Weletes on this flank. Okay. So we're going to try to anchor on this rough. I mean, we'll have to throw some mediums in there. But anchor on the rough and the hill and push the center. Whatever that means. Who knows how much that plan's actually going to happen. Yes, in this situation, I might want to invest into pike phalanxes and the veterans all the way. As expensive as they are. For mediums, Thureophoroi, Italian foot. They're cheap. They're terrible, but they're cheap. Cheap is good right now. Thureophoroi. Okay, we need to unfortunately sink some points into skirmishers. And we're running out of points. This is terrible. Oh, man. Alright, we'll grab light javelin horse for the flank. 32 points remaining. We're going to have to rethink something. I think. No cavalry. It's probably an idiotic idea. Raw legionaries, I guess. I don't know. My cavalry. I mean, I guess I could get Zistophoroi. This is risky, maybe even foolish, but we're going to do it anyway. Right. Something like that? Oh, I suppose. Something like that. If we are outnumbered in skirmishers, it could get very awkward. If we are outnumbered in cavalry, I'm not going to be immediately worried. We can push to this line, hold the hill and the rough. If we need to, transfer some medium foot from the left flank to the right flank, and the elephants can do anti-cavalry duty as well. So the terrain is good for defense. If he chooses to camp, which I don't think is likely, we would have options. None of his hills are really that good. Alright. The die is cast. Next turn. Okay, what have we got? Lots of cavalry. 6 units, plus elephants, and 2 lights. Nine units of non-light infantry. Okay, well this ought to be interesting. Getting outflanked is obviously a danger with that much cavalry around, but these giant patches of rough should prove very useful in delaying that. Although a lot of my heavies aren't particularly well suited to fighting in the rough. Still, we have light superiority. He's got 7 range units, I believe. And I have 9. Though we will want to make sure to match over here. And keep, maybe we should shift all our infantry skirmishers in this direction and just keep our light cavalry to make things uncomfortable for his cavalry. That's good for now. We'll try to shoot down his skirmishers. He might camp with his infantry on one of these hills while he works his way around with his cavalry. But if we can take out his skirmishers, then we can start pressuring his infantry and force him to move and meet us somewhere perhaps to our advantage. But the overall plan, I think, is a meeting engagement in the center here, if I can force that to happen, with our flank covered by this rough and this hill and rough. Okay. Next turn. Okay, we will continue to shift our lights over. And inch our heavies forward. And that's it. Next turn, now that everyone's all lined up, we can start considering a push to seize the hilltop. Or we could wait and let him come in and engage up here. We'll see. Alright, you'll probably experience a increase in the audio volume here. Hopefully that is a one-time thing across the board for the channel. Alright, let's see. We'll inch forward a bit with our mediums here. Okay, so we're at the range where now we will get shot at first, but I'm going to accept that. We'll send these heavy foot forward as reserves and throw our own light cavalry in, just to be annoying. Onward. Next turn. Not really sure what he's doing. Yeah, I don't know. So we're just gonna push forward a little bit and see what happens. Seems to be shuffling around a little bit awkwardly, so maybe we can find a way to take advantage. I don't really like being the first one to get shot at, but I don't want to just sit here and let him do whatever crazy movement he's trying to do, so... We'll see if he comes down at all. If he just sits in the hills with his infantry, we'll probably not advance and just engage in skirmishing and shift troops out of the main battle line if we need to cover the flanks. Next turn. Just the usual bickering. So he's going to post up on this hill and this hill. We're going to decline that invitation. Move elephants and triarii towards these lancers. And then we're going to sit here a bit and shoot it out. think we're overall getting the worst of this skirmishing. These hills make it difficult to push forward. But I'm not alarmed yet, and we still have our light cavalry to get into action. Okay, so we're going to invite battle in the plain here and refuse battle here, and we will stretch our line around here as needed to slow this cavalry. Next turn. Yeah, I can't say that I care for this situation. But harassment is on the way. We can't really afford to move away from this rough against so many phalanxes. Okay, this is a bit scattered and disorganized, but basically we're going to get our elephants into action against these lancers. Alright. Too early to say anything so far. Next turn. As expected. Okay, we're gonna have to do a little bit of sitting here. Light horse don't really need to do anything but be slightly irritating. Maybe, yes, indeed. Maybe draw off some light infantry. That'll do just fine. Okay, so next turn we'll try to get this elephant into action and hopefully start putting pressure on this sector here. Next turn. Uh-huh. That's fine with me, actually. They will evade. The question is where? Will they run away? Will they try to evade and fail? What if we did that? And that? Well, that's obnoxious, but still should be successful. Lock them in. We'll just stand there and stare at each other as long as necessary. How bad is this combat? Quite bad. Hold for a turn, so it gives us potential options. Since we have more units available, we're going to just start being annoying. He can either try to push down here and block this Italian foot and invite flanking from the Scutari, or wheel to face the Scutari, who could simply just keep moving away while the Italian foot push for a flank attack. Just requires these Hastati and Principes to hold out for a couple of turns, which may or may not happen. Break these elephants. Since they're both shock troops, unfortunately, these bunch are just going to fall back. Still pretty nice, though. Do we charge? Sure. I mean, the melee is terrible, but impact was good. Alright, we'll keep poking. Act a little cautiously. Break this elephant. Break this cavalry, hopefully. Cause me shenanigans over here, and hopefully hold on here. And these guys will have to come down to rescue their comrades soon. Maybe. Next turn. Not a bad thing. Right, first things first. And we'll... I think we covered the rear of the Thuriofloi with these Italian foot, even though it'll get them killed, potentially. Scutari can make any such attack undesirable. Right, do we charge in? Or is that dangerous? 23, 36. I think we charge in. Hold firm. And these veterans will get ready to cover. Break them. Very good. Some pressure on these horsemen. Fragged. Good. Held firm though. It might be worth it to cover the flank of this raw legionary unit, just because if they don't break, then we can still use them. Even if this situation is not ideal with the 3-2. But I don't really care if we lose these 2 units. If we can break a bunch of units here, that would be more useful anyway. Okay. Right. So we'll see what these cohesion checks can do for us. And in the meantime, we work on this cavalry, keep this pike phalanx unit pinned, and massacre these pikemen. So I think it's quite possible that next turn we'll see these units push out these 3 descending from their hill to fight, because I think he's running out of time. Next turn. Let's see if he comes down off this hill yet. Ouch. Elephants into the rough. Okay. Okay, let's see what damage we can do here. Pretty bad. They will be on even terms with either one of these units. It's just the 2 combined. We're going to lock these in the hope that when this irregular foot breaks, either by elephants or being charged by the raw legionaries, they frag this unit and then we can break them. So they don't have their full POA anymore due to casualties. At this point, since they are fragged, they get no pike POA. Don't think I ought to general up to rescue that unit. I think it's a bit dangerous. Well, we'll risk it. We just need to hold out for a turn. Well, one more round of combat, but then we should be good. They evaded because otherwise they would have been charged by the Scutari head on. This isn't as wonderful as it looks. Essentially, I don't remember how much these armored cavalry cost, but I think they cost about 60, perhaps. Foro is 42, Weletes is 30, so it's 72. So it's actually in his favor, but we're slowly grinding them down. Should be able to engage these hoplites now. And see if we can force this unit of Phalanx Guides to push forward. Basically, they have impact and melee dependent on their number of men in the unit. So they are gradually losing their deep pike POA by casualties from skirmishers. So the more he lets me just shoot at his men, the less effective they'll be in combat when combat finally occurs. My Italian foot are about to get just massacred, and subsequently my Scutari as well. But that's okay. Not really worried about it. Okay, that should... Oh wait, these guys are probably going to get slaughtered. Their supports are going to die, and then these Thracians will turn around and butcher them, and that is what it is, but I don't really care if I lose these 2 units now. It'll take too long for his 3 to get back into the action, hopefully. Okay, Herm is saying he played this one like a beginner. It's a tragedy. I definitely wouldn't say he played it like a beginner, but, you know, mistakes were made. It happens. Ouch. Oh, that is really quite bad for him, though. Let's make sure we don't push him back with this attack. Good. Switch command to you. Downside being we're going to probably lose all 3 of these units. Luckily they're cheap units, I don't care that much. Could be a problem. In fact, I messed up. I should have moved these Weletes here. And now these horsemen can fall back, unfortunately. And much as I would like to simply join the fun here, well, why don't we do a little bit more damage? Come on. Fine, I'll waste the movement. Held firm. Too bad. Well, harass them then. And soon these legionaries can start pushing. If I do this, they'll fall back. Probably what I want to do is shuffle behind, lock them in place. And this way I can surround them and destroy them in a while. Yeah, it's proven to be a pretty bad battle for my medium foot on the flanks. He's going to get some points on the table. I wonder if it's even worth trying to fall back. We take a cohesion check, but if we passed it, then our initial contact would be on even ground. Don't think it's worth the risk. It's too bad we couldn't find a way to outflank this unit. It's just not going to happen. That is not worth it yet. Once I can free up this phalanx unit, then I can push both of these hoplites. Onward. Next turn. Surprising. It's not going to save them. There we go. Uh-huh. Wonderful. It's too bad I can't do anything about breaking the zone of control. We'll run. There is no need to get charged and slaughtered for no good reason. That's so annoying. Okay. Do we do it? I want to free up these units for doing it. Unfortunate. We'll hopefully manage to deal with that though. It's like fighting uphill, but hopefully we should be able to win anyway. Meanwhile, goodbye this flank. Yeah, it's going well, but it's not as grim for him as he thinks, because these numbers are going to start adding up quickly. Do I fall back? Risk it. Good. Now we can meet them on flat ground at least. It's a small change, but every little bit helps. Next turn. Goodbye to my flanks, but hopefully we can keep pushing hard in the center. Good. going to need to find a way to preserve our skirmishers, because we'll need them to whittle down these pikemen. Okay. Run, 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 run. $154. Heltfer. Okay, hopefully we can finish killing these lancers soon and then turn around to face these medium foot. It's not worth it. No, not against veterans. This reduced command and control situation is rather unfortunate. These two veterans, I'm trying to decide if I want them pushing this direction or this direction. I think we don't need help here. And if we wrap this, these units should be capable of fighting off medium foot. So we'll push this way. Still going well, but it's going to get a little bit dicey. Next turn. Oh, of course. Okay, so it's pretty clear what we need to do here. Get these Weletes out of the way, shove off these damned horsemen, and hit this pike unit in the rear. It's not going to save our Scutari, but it might destroy this pike unit. I'm going to pull these light javelin horse off and try to break this fragged phalanx unit with them. If the elephants don't get to it first. We're low on ammo, so why not? Right, and then what do we do with these pikemen? Do we follow this phalanx? Do we try to post up on this hill to get a 25 POA advantage? I think I will trust to the elephants or light javelin horse to deal with this phalanx, and we'll push this way. Meantime, these light javelin men can... Well, actually, here. That gives us a height advantage as well. And we can just start moving away from these guys, honestly. We have no need to face them until we're rallied up. And we can try to clean up these units first. Might lose the Studio FoGII to a rear charge as well. So it goes. Next turn. Good, I was afraid those elephants would rally up. That was to be expected. If they hold, I was hoping they'd hold for a turn so we could charge the horsemen. No such luck. Okay. Get ready to flank them. Right, we're just going to avoid these medium foot unless they follow us out into the opening, because I don't think we actually need to fight them, to be honest. Going to lose these slingers soon. Okay. I think we go there and there. And once we turn these around, we can get 3 units charging downhill at this square. In the meantime, we'll just pick at them with javelin men. This unit can guard against cavalry. In fact, we can start by just shoving them off and pelting them with javelins. And this light horse moved to the rescue. Not yet. Once we break these two, we can see how urgently we need to fight his cavalry, whether we can ignore them and concentrate on the infantry. Right, so Herm had some real-life stuff going on or something and had to drop out, but the battle was just about over. I was going to break both of these units, and that would have sent me to 25. So he conceded, and I got the technical win, and I think the real win would have followed. I think the lessons from this are pretty clear. I sacrificed my right flank to distract 3 units for the loss of 2, but enabled me to get numerical superiority in the center. In addition, he had more cavalry, but ended up committing a lot of it to the center battle, which against infantry and skirmishers, they just couldn't make much of an impact. Finally, I think this battle is a clear demonstration of how hard it can be to use terrain defensively, because these hills are not mutually supporting. And when he got engaged by my men on the plain below, he could choose to either come down and fight with inferior troops like hoplites or stand there and not help. And it was two bad choices to have there, to be honest. Of course, I could only make all of that happen because the skirmishing went relatively well. So there is that. So a good game to Herm. It's too bad we couldn't finish it, but so it goes. Till next time.